Now, live from Whitney Media, 1460 WVOX, the Greenberg Report with Greenberg Town Supervisor Paul Feiner. You can join in the conversation at 914-636-0110. Now on 1460 WVOX, here's Greenberg Town Supervisor Paul Feiner.
Paul Feiner, I'm the Greenberg Town Supervisor. We have an interesting program. Today we're going to be featuring the owners of Baby Buck Studio, and that's a business in the River Villages in Greenberg. And my guest is Mary Jane Farnsworth and Yvonne Tully, who founded Baby Buck Studio. Mary Jane, thank you so much for joining us, and maybe could you tell us a little bit about the studio?
Good morning, Paul, and thank you so much for having us. We're so excited to be here. Our business just launched a few months ago, and the studio is really cool. It's a mini studio that is easy to set up in your home, delivered to your home if you're having a baby or expecting or have a little baby. And it's a studio and app designed to help you create beautiful portraits of your baby in your house using your cell phone. So the way it works is we use green screen technology. The kit comes with a posing pillow and a really beautiful little posing blanket and an outfit that you can start out with for your baby. And then you basically use the app to change the background. So it makes it look like the baby's in a professional studio.
That is great. So do they take the photos themselves, or
Yep, they take the photo with their cell phone. So no professional equipment required, which is kind of the coolest part about it. I'm a newborn photographer by trade of 25 years and came up with the idea, seeing so many of my clients struggle before they would hire me. They would say, I tried to do these myself in my apartment before I invested, a big amount of money in you. And they would struggle with backgrounds or posing the baby or whatever. So it's basically a kit that helps you dress and pose the baby beautifully, just like a professional. And we tell you how, and we give you tips and tricks. And then you take the photo with your cell phone. You don't need any professional lighting. And then you basically drag and drop the baby, for lack of a better word, into a background, like into a little bed or a basket or just a beautiful, simple background as well.
That is great. What gave you this idea?
So it was really one specific client. I went to her apartment one day in New York City. I'm a deliverable newborn photographer, meaning I would bring, lights, camera, a suitcase of props and things like that. And I was taking all the props out, and she kept asking me where I got all these things from. And I said, well, I curate them from, knitters on Etsy, or I'm also a sewer, so I would buy fabrics myself and create, cute little sets. And she had told me she had tried many times to take the pictures, before I came, and they came out horrible. They were, on her bed, and there was clutter in the background, et cetera. And she said to me, yesterday the baby was in such a better mood than the baby is today. And I said to her, I can't even tell you how many times a client says that to me. For some reason, on photo day, the baby is always the worst, right? So she said, I wish that I could put you in a box and pull you out anytime. And as I was driving home, I kept thinking about that. And I said, why can't all of these skills that I've, curated over the years on how to perfectly pose a baby and how to, get a perfect photograph of them, why can't I put that in a box and make like a little kit that a parent could pull out anytime they wanted when the baby was so perfectly sleeping, which happens at funny times or funny hours. And with a professional photographer, you're locked into, a set time. If the baby doesn't cooperate in the hour that you have, well, you still have to pay the photographer. So I thought it might be a cool idea to give the parents all these tools.
That is, that is great. So you give people ideas as to the types of photos that actually work the best.
Exactly.
And you started this business with Yvonne Tully?
Yes, Yvonne Tully is here.
Yes. How are you?
Good. And Yvonne, what made you get involved in this business?
Well, over the last 10 years, I've been primarily a stay-at-home mom raising my 4 kids. But I got to a place where I really wanted to go back to work and start working again and have a career. And I was exploring different opportunities. And one day I was hanging out with Mary Jane, and she told me about her idea. And I thought it was amazing. And I jumped on board with her. She said, do you want to do this with me? And I didn't hesitate because I knew it was a fantastic idea. And I felt like if we put our two heads together, we could get it done. And we're so excited to be at this place where we've launched and it's out there in the world.
We have to take a break for a couple minutes, and right after the break, we'll be right back, and we'll learn more about Baby Buck Studio. And what's the website again?
BabyBuckStudio.com.
Be back in about 3 or 4 minutes. I'm Paul Feiner, Greenberg Town Supervisor.
Now, back to the Greenberg Report on 1460 WVOX. Once again, here's Greenberg Town Supervisor Paul Feiner.
Paul Feiner, I'm the Greenberg Town Supervisor, and we're talking with Mary Jane Farnsworth and Yvonne Tully, and they're co-founders of a very interesting business in the River Villages in Greenberg. It's called Baby Buck Studio, and the website is www.babybuckstudio.com. If you have a baby and you want to send family members and friends photos of the baby, but the baby doesn't always cooperate, this is the business that you should be looking at, because you could take beautiful pictures of your baby without going into somebody else's studio and having to worry about the baby not cooperating. Is your business, Mary Jane, all online, or do you have offices?
Yes, no, it's all online. So you order the box itself, the mini studio, to be delivered to your home online.
And do you feel that online businesses is the way of the future, that more and more people are now going to be having these types of businesses where people get services without going into a regular office on Main Street or whatever?
I really hope not. I am a huge fan of small business, and I love visiting small shops. I mean, it's really ingrained in who I am, especially here in the river towns. But I also believe that, COVID has put a little scare in us. Our business in particular, so I can't really speak for other businesses, but for our business, especially with newborns, it's such a, it can be such a delicate, scary time in a new parent's life when your newborn is 2-3 weeks old, and, you don't want to bring them out in the world, especially with COVID being here and kind of lingering and going on longer than we ever anticipated. The newborn photography world is done. I mean, for me personally, I'm not shooting any newborns because nobody wants to bring their unvaccinated baby into a studio or have people to come into their homes. So for us, the COVID scare helped kind of create and, make this business into what it is right now. I mean, it's such a great time for us because we're giving parents a service that they can't really participate in during coronavirus. So, we're hoping that we can help parents get beautiful pictures of their baby, because everyone knows that time goes so quickly, and that, everybody wants beautiful pics. So, again, for us, it's definitely all online. We're a deliverable service, but I really hope that small businesses don't go away, and that, the brick and mortar doesn't go away. I really hope so.
It's interesting because I really hadn't thought about, the comments. The professional photography business right now would really be very difficult because people are afraid of interacting with other human beings, especially, a baby. So this is fantastic timing. This summer we have an internship program, and Randy Zuckerberg, Mark Zuckerberg's sister, spoke to some of the interns, and she said that the businesses that will succeed in the post-pandemic are the ones that were able to adapt to the times. And it seems like you're being very, very creative. Did both of you have a business background, before? Did you take any business courses in college? And
I had worked in marketing and business development. That was my last career before I became a stay-at-home mom. And but this endeavor was completely new for Mary Jane and myself. So when we decided we were going to really pursue this, a friend of ours in the river towns had mentioned Element 46, which is the startup incubator created by the Westchester County Office of Economic Development. And our friend had been a part of the first cohort of Element 46, and she launched a business here in Dobbs Ferry called Beyond Flowers and Food. And she felt the program had helped her so much. So when we applied back in December of last year, we were so excited for the opportunity to possibly, tap into this, wealth of expertise and knowledge. We were so grateful that they selected us as part of the second cohort. And the program run by Deborah Novak was integral in us getting to the point where we could launch within a year of creating our business. We felt like having the ability to ask questions, talk to other mentors and people who are in the same situation as us, starting a new business, to tap into their knowledge and experience was so invaluable. I don't know if we would be at the place we are without the support and encouragement. Launching a business during a pandemic is not something we anticipated, but we were able to plug along and keep working and problem solve. And when you have a network of people that you can reach out to and say, hey, what do you think, what do you suggest we do with this problem, or what do you think we do with this situation? It really keeps you motivated and excited to keep working hard.
That is great. So how many people participated in the county program?
I think there was 12 of the
There were 12 in the second cohort. There were 12 other businesses.
And what was this program like what type of classes do they have? And
what we would do, and again, the first cohort was lucky to be in person. Our cohort was all remote because of coronavirus. But we would meet weekly on Zoom meetings, and we would have mentors. Novak would have a different mentor every other week, right? Was it every other week?
Yeah.
So they would have people like a social media expert to help you, start your Facebook page and Instagram if you weren't really schooled in that. Or there would be a marketing expert who would help you, or a business plan expert. So these people would actually volunteer their time, and I can't even tell you how invaluable it was. I was a professional photographer for 25 years before this, but certainly had no real, business. I guess it's a business, but I never had, there's so much about running this kind of a business that I didn't know about. Right. And we learned so much in the cohort.
That is great. We have to take another break, and we'll be right back, and we're going to learn a little bit more about Baby Buck Studio with Mary Jane Farnsworth and Yvonne Tully. So please stay tuned right after the break. And again, it's www.babybuckstudio.com. And this is an opportunity for people to take photos of your child, beautiful photos, using green screen technology. It looks professional. from your home, and you don't have to worry about your child crying or anything.
WVOX. Now back to the Greenberg Report on 1460 WVOX. Once again, here's Greenberg Town Supervisor Paul Feiner.
And we have two very interesting guests with us today, Mary Jane Farnsworth and Yvonne Tully. And they both started an online business, babyboxstudio.com. It's an opportunity to take photos of your baby using an app, from your home. You don't have to worry about getting COVID. You don't have to worry about the baby, crying. I'm wondering if you could sort of describe the information that you provide your clients with.
So we try to make it as easy as possible for a parent to set the studio up, use the tools that we give you in the box. So, we don't want parents to think that this has to be kind of like a scary experience. One of the greatest things about the box is that it's in your house all the time, and so you can use it whenever the baby is perfectly sleeping or cute and giggly and awake. That's the whole point of it, is that it's supposed to, be easy to use. With 25 years of newborn baby photography experience, I had a lot of information to pull, and a wealth of information to pull from, to curate this box so it is easy to use and parents can achieve really beautiful results. On our website, we have some tutorials where I actually show the parents how to pose the baby in a professional-like way or safely wrap the baby in a beautiful way so you can photograph them. And then those photographs work perfectly with our background. So it is as easy as literally taking the photo and then dragging and dropping a picture of the baby into what looks like a professional studio. So we have tons of tutorials. We give directions in the box that teach the parents how to easily set it up, and then some quick tips on how to dress and pose the baby in the directions in the box as well.
If people have questions, could they also phone in and get additional help or advice?
Yeah, so we have from 8 o'clock to 5 o'clock, we have a message system through our website where we can chat with people. And then we also have email, so we get back to people within 12 hours with any questions.
That's great. So you said you have like a chat system where...
Yes. On our website, we have a live chat, so people can ask questions about the box itself, or maybe if they have the box and they're struggling with something, we can, talk them through it. One of the things that we've been encouraging the clients, the moms or parents who have the box right now, is please send us some of your photos, because I would love to see how they're coming out. If they need any help with maybe touching something up, we're here to help them do that as well, so that they achieve really beautiful results.
Were you thinking of even posting on your website some of the photos that the clients take?
Yeah, so we are going to start doing a contest, which is going to be called the Cutest Baby of the Month. And so as parents are starting to, because we just launched a few months ago, so the box is in many people's hands, and we're kind of waiting for those results now. We're going to start posting the pictures. We're going to start doing Cutest Baby contests. We're going to start doing contests for moms who are the most creative using the box, because what's cool about Green Screen is that even though we give you like a starter outfit and the posing pillow and a really beautiful blanket, we're going to encourage moms to get creative and use things from around the house, like maybe a beautiful blanket that grandma knit or a cute little toy that they can add and personalize the pictures themselves. So we'll start posting those, within the next month.
That is great. Have you thought about expanding your program, for other life events? It could be bat mitzvahs, bar mitzvahs, weddings.
Once we sort of, get through this first launch of our newborn box, our next product we hope will be our pet box studio, and this box will be specifically designed for pet owners. And And so we're really excited for that, and we're in the process of still developing that concept. But the idea would be, within the box would be the tools and the props that are specific for, your dog or your cat or whatever pet you have in your household. So we're really excited, and there's a lot of people out there that have heard of our box, and especially the pet owners, and have said to us, "Oh, we'd love for you to create, a box for us." So we're excited about that coming down the pipeline.
That is, that is great. What are some of the challenges that new business owners, face when they basically start a new business?
So I think one of our biggest challenges, and humbly, we think that this is such a brilliant concept. And I have to be honest, I thought when we launched it, it was going to explode and get shared a million times on social media. And what was kind of a reality check for me personally was that it's very difficult to get the word out, right? Our really good friend, Beth Turner, who owns BeyondFlowersAndFood.com here in Westchester as well, she said the same thing when we talked to her about their launch. It's like you put out all this work, you have a launch date, you launch, and then she goes, and then it's like crickets, right? You can hear the crickets chirping. So it is a little reality check, like getting yourself out there. We are right now. We just hired a social media company, so they're helping us, get Facebook page likes, get Instagram shares, all those things. It's hard to get yourself known. So that's our biggest challenge right now.
Right. And I think it used to be that, let's say you were featured in a local newspaper, everybody would talk about it, but now there's so many different media outlets and online outlets that even if you get great attention, it's hard to get people talking.
It's so true. And also, Facebook and Instagram, you're talking about, it's so inundated with so much information. And so to get yourself to stand out without paying a ton of money, to stand out on those platforms is difficult, and it's challenging for sure.
Great. Well, what I'll do is after this program, I'll ask if I could get a copy of it from VOX, and then I'll put it on social media. So maybe that will help.
I can't even tell you how much we appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Because I know you could work your head off, and it gets very, very, frustrating. So what have you been doing? How do you spread the word?
So, like I just mentioned, we just hired a social media team. They're the first, people that we've hired to help us. Yvonne and I have done all of this on our own, along with the help of Element 46 while we were, developing. But they're like, the first company that we've hired to kind of help us get out there. We realized that this is where we lack skill and information. And so, I'm not the biggest, I'm not that crazy about social media. So we needed the help. Yeah. And so we're excited to have them on our team.
And we've been really focused on creating little mini videos for social media that showcase the product and how it works and how easy it is, and what you can do with it and what the results are. So we kind of feel like the more we can get it out in front of people through social media, the more they understand it, because this really is a brand new consumer product. There isn't anything out there on the market like it. So our biggest challenge is really to get people over the hump of what exactly is this and how does it work? And is this something that I would be able to use, and would it be successful for me? So that's really what we're trying to do, that yes, it's for you. Yes, it can work for you, and it's easy. And all you really need is our box, your baby, and a cell phone.
Right. One of the thoughts, I just had was you might want to reach out to like some of the local hospitals and just, the maternity, wards, contact doctors, nurses who, help with delivery of babies, and let them know about your service, and, maybe clothing stores for babies, things like that, might help.
Yeah, Paul, the hospitals are on our radar, and we really appreciate you bringing that up. And so we have reached out to one hospital, and what we're finding, you can't bring anything into the hospitals right now, but maybe we could get, like an information packet that goes home with every mom. Right now, the photographers are not allowed in the delivery rooms. In the past, before COVID, you would have a photographer come and do a quick newborn photo, the day of delivery, and they're not allowed to come in anymore. So we are trying to kind of get our name in the hospitals, especially just locally, just to get started.
That is, really great. In terms of, so we have to take a break, and then we'll be back. I'm Paul Feiner, Greenberg Town Supervisor. We'll be back learning more about BabyBoxStudio.com. And Farnsworth and Yvonne Tully.
Now, back to the Greenberg Report on 1460 WVOX. Once again, here's Greenberg Town Supervisor Paul Feiner.
Paul Feiner, and we're talking with Mary Jane Farnsworth and Yvonne Tully about their new business, BabyBoxStudio.com, and it's an interesting business where parents deserve beautiful and bragging images of their newborn by instead of hiring a professional photographer, they basically could do the photography from home using an app. So is there anything else that we didn't cover today?
Yeah, I'd love to take a moment just to tell your listeners about a new program out of Westchester County, and it's called Launch 1,000. And this new program has the goal of enabling 1,000 Westchester residents to start a new business. And it's being led, again, by Deborah Novak, who led the Element 46 program that we were a part of. And what's really great about this program is that it's open to anyone, whether you already have a great idea for a business but just need some help getting started, or maybe you've always wanted to become an entrepreneur but haven't yet found the right idea. So this program will help you figure out what your strengths are, where your interests lie, and help guide you to the right idea for a business. It's a free program, and they're accepting applications now. So for anyone out there who's seriously been thinking about becoming an entrepreneur or a business owner, you should go to their website. It's westchestercatalyst.com for more information. And the application's easy and it's free.
That is, that is great. And it's such a difficult time for people because there's not a lot of traditional job openings right now. So setting up your own business actually, makes sense. And how long do you think it would take, like you or others, for a business that you're just starting to become, very, very successful?
Well, from our own personal experience, we have put about 1.5 years into developing our product, our prototype, and planning the business. And we've launched, and, we're hoping that within the year we start to become profitable. But I know, I think the average is that from, launch of a business, it takes about 2 years for the business to become profitable. So it's definitely something that if you're interested, it does require a commitment and fortitude and being able to weather the difficult times and problem solve. But there's so many people out there that, really have the interest and the determination, and just a little bit of help from the right people can get them going. And, for Westchester County to focus on helping 1,000 people launch businesses in Westchester. I mean, it's an amazing show of commitment to helping keep Westchester strong and keep small business alive in Westchester.
Right. I think this is great. One of the nice things about setting up an online business is you don't really have to rent space, so that actually saves you a lot of money.
That's
right.
True.
And this program's open to anyone, whether it's an online business or a brick and mortar, a service business, nonprofit. So, it really is in place to service people with a lot of different ideas. And I think, whether you're at the point where you have a business plan and you just need a little bit more help, or you have a general concept but need help really fine-tuning it, I would encourage anyone to apply. That
is great. Well, I just want to thank you very, very much for joining us today. I wish you great successes, and looking forward to seeing all the photos that your clients are taking on upcoming websites. And by the way, what's the cost of the app?
Oh, so the app is free and comes with the purchase of the actual studio, the box. The box is $149. It's the mini studio. Comes with a custom posing pillow to help you pose your baby, a beautiful posing blanket, and a starter outfit. And then the app comes along with the box. So all the backgrounds are part of it. They're free.
That is great. Is there if somebody wants to get in contact you, do they just call you, email you, or what's the email, contact, or phone number?
Go to our website at babyboxstudio.com, and all of our contact information is so easy right on there.
That's great. Well, thank you very, very much for joining us today, and I wish you great success, and I'll do my best to help publicize the work you're doing.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you, Paul.
Great. And thanks for being with us. Great holiday season.